In 1992, fate led 23-year-old Krista to the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma. The young single mother relocated there with her 3-year-old son, Joshua, in search of a new life. Almost immediately after the move, Krista secured a position as a leasing agent in a residential complex. It was there that she encountered a meeting that would alter the course of her life. Working in the same complex was 22-year-old Joe Kidd, an instructor at the local fitness center. The two young individuals quickly found common ground, and soon their professional relationship blossomed into a romantic one. Particularly significant for Krista was Joe's acceptance of her son as his own, fostering a genuine family atmosphere. After some time, the couple began living together, eventually marrying and forming a typical American family. A pivotal figure in their lives was Joe's father, affectionately known as Grandpa Dusty. He became a second father to the children, devoting much attention to his grandchildren. 3 years into their life together, Krista became pregnant. On December 5, 1996, just a week before Krista's birthday and a month before Christmas, their daughter Lauren was born. For Krista, the birth of her daughter was the most wonderful gift of the season. The family was tightly knit, and Lauren's arrival further solidified their bonds. However, in 1999, the family faced a serious challenge. Joe lost his job due to downsizing. For an extended period, he struggled to find new employment, and the family relied on sporadic earnings. To secure stable work, they were compelled to relocate to Phoenix, Arizona. Although this 1,500-kilometer journey was an adventure for the couple, it posed a significant trial for the entire family. They had never seen mountains before, and now they found themselves at their foothills, which particularly amazed little Lauren. The girl grew up active and fearless, loving to sing and regularly engaging in sports. At the age of 4, she developed a passion for soccer and enjoyed playing as a goalkeeper. Despite the challenges, the Kidd family managed to maintain warm relationships and mutual support, laying a strong foundation for their children's future. These early years shaped Lauren's character and molded her into the person she would become. Life continued to evolve for the family. When Lauren started school, Krista became pregnant again. By the time the new child was born, circumstances had changed, prompting the family to return to Oklahoma to be closer to Joe's parents and receive the necessary support. Managing 3 children alone would prove to be significantly more challenging. The year 2009 marked a turning point in Lauren's life. At 13, she entered a tumultuous adolescent phase. Alongside typical puberty issues, she faced mental health challenges. Concerned, her parents took their only daughter for a medical evaluation, where she was diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. This condition affected her ability to concentrate and control certain impulses. Lauren was prescribed medication intended to alleviate her symptoms, but instead, it exacerbated the situation. The girl became withdrawn and silent, distancing herself from friends and family. The situation was further complicated by the outbreak of swine flu, which, albeit on a smaller scale, echoed the COVID-19 pandemic. During this time, the beloved grandfather of the family contracted the virus and passed away, a devastating blow for all relatives, especially the children who were very close to him. Following this event, Lauren began to exhibit new problems. She started self-harming. Until that point, Krista had been maintaining a family video diary filled with joyful moments. However, from then on, the cheerful and carefree videos took on a more somber tone. As her daughter began to inflict harm upon herself, Krista recorded videos over several days, trying to understand if new injuries were appearing. Krista struggled to comprehend what was happening and why her daughter's condition was deteriorating. Lauren would shut down whenever uncomfortable topics arose and refused to engage. After some time, relatives discovered the true reason for the teenager's alienation. It turned out that Lauren had recently fallen in with a new group of friends. One day, she found herself alone with an unfamiliar peer who coerced her into sexual acts. This had a devastating impact on Lauren's psyche. The girl was too afraid to confide in her parents, but when the truth came to light, she was able to seek help. Lauren began attending therapy sessions and taking prescribed medication. Over the next few years, her mental state stabilized. She became sociable and friendly once more, forging new friendships. In 2012, Lauren met Zach Romaine. The teenagers quickly became friends and began spending all their free time together. They even bore a striking resemblance to one another. Lauren's family welcomed Zach with open arms, as he seemed to be a kind and decent young man. For the younger children in the family, Zach became like an older brother. The young couple officially announced their relationship in February of that year, when they both turned 16. Around the middle of the school year, Lauren decided to move in with her boyfriend, leaving her parents' home. They aspired to rent an apartment, marry, and live as a fully independent family. Lauren's parents did not share her enthusiasm for the idea of cohabitation with Zach, believing they were too young for such a serious step. However, they chose not to impede their daughter's independence, fearing it might damage their relationship and provoke a new wave of depression and self-destructive behavior. At the same time, they were concerned that Lauren might neglect her studies due to the relationship. Nevertheless, their daughter assured them that this would not happen, ultimately gaining their consent. Shortly after the move, Krista, Lauren's mother, suspected that her daughter might be pregnant, which was the reason for the haste in their decision to live together and marry. When directly asked, Lauren replied that she was uncertain. Krista then took her to the hospital for a pregnancy test, which turned out to be positive. Although the news of the early pregnancy came as a surprise to the family, everyone supported Lauren and eagerly anticipated the arrival of the child. On March 22, 2015, 19-year-old Lauren gave birth to a daughter, Addison Maine. Zach's parents also embraced the news enthusiastically, willingly stepping into the roles of grandparents without any judgment towards the young couple. Contrary to the relatives' concerns, Lauren managed to complete her high school education just a few months after giving birth, and on July 16, 2016, she officially married Zach, after which the couple embarked on a honeymoon to Branson, Missouri. Outwardly, the couple appeared happy, but in reality, Lauren had been battling inner demons for years. The emotional wounds from her past continued to inflict pain, albeit less acutely, as she hinted in her social media posts. Simultaneously, Lauren was determined to fight for her loved ones and her daughter. Zach found employment to support his family, although initially, significant assistance came from both sets of parents. However, by October 2016, the situation had changed. In her posts, Lauren noted how challenging it was for her to be home alone with the child, lamenting the monotony and boredom of daily life, yearning to return to work as soon as possible. Despite her boundless love for her daughter, the young mother craved self-fulfillment. During this time, the couple decided to improve their living conditions. They proposed to their longtime friends, Connor Browner and his girlfriend, Alexandra Finley, to co-rent a more spacious apartment, sharing the expenses. This arrangement would allow them to save money and comfortably accommodate their children. Soon, the two families moved in together. Initially, cohabitation was harmonious and joyful. Everyone supported one another, socializing and spending time together. On May 25, 2017, Lauren finally secured a job as a sales associate in a store, seeking greater independence. At the same time, she continued to grapple with depression, which she confided to her mother. Lauren dyed her hair dark, wore black clothing, and applied heavy makeup. Her relationship with Zach deteriorated against the backdrop of her overall psychological state. The couple of friends with whom they shared the apartment separated and moved out. Zach, Lauren, and their daughter found themselves alone again, suffering from boredom. After a few months, their marriage began to unravel. Zach returned to his mother, attempting to alleviate the tense atmosphere, but to no avail. The couple could not rekindle their closeness, even for the sake of their child, and that same year, they filed for divorce. Interestingly, after the official separation, the former partners briefly improved their relationship, but it was short-lived. Consequently, they soon decided to make radical changes in their personal lives. Left alone with the child, Lauren acutely felt loneliness and the absence of male support. She yearned for new love, and it came rather swiftly. Lauren began a relationship with Connor, their former apartment neighbor. Their shared experience of breaking up with their partners brought Lauren and Connor closer, igniting romantic feelings between them. This news deeply saddened Zach, who still harbored hopes of family reconciliation. However, he had to come to terms with his ex-wife's choice. By September 2017, the divorce proceedings were finalized. The parents agreed to share custody of their 2-year-old daughter, taking turns caring for her each week. This decision was satisfactory to all parties involved. Zach's animosity towards Connor intensified due to his dependence on illicit substances. Gradually, Lauren also began to smoke marijuana. Their apartment increasingly became a venue for raucous parties, much to the dismay of little Addison's father. He attempted to influence his ex-wife, but to no avail. Conflicts between Zach and Lauren, as well as with her new partner, arose repeatedly. The girl's parents were shocked to learn that their daughter had traded her former husband for a boyfriend with a chaotic lifestyle. Nevertheless, they hoped that, in time, the young couple would settle down and perhaps restore their relationship. However, contrary to the relatives' expectations, the situation did not improve. A year passed, and by the autumn of 2018, Lauren's life was spiraling downward. During this period, she and Connor found themselves surrounded by a company that abused illicit substances. The young couple began to spend increasing amounts of time at parties. Additionally, Lauren befriended a new companion, Shauna, an extreme individual who often provoked dangerous situations. Lauren's parents were deeply concerned about these circumstances. It was during this time that a new profile of Lauren appeared on social media under the name of one of her alter egos. This was a depressive, gothic persona in dark tones, reflecting the girl's inner state. On her page, she frequently wrote about dissociative identity disorder, a condition in which a person's identity is fragmented, creating the impression that multiple distinct personalities coexist within one body. It seemed that Lauren identified for such sub-personalities within herself. Krista repeatedly attempted to reach out to the police regarding Connor's aggressive behavior, but Lauren refused to file any reports. Their toxic relationship persisted despite the evident signs of danger and concern from loved ones. The situation grew increasingly tense, yet no one could foresee how tragically it would culminate. On October 26, 2018, Lauren was scheduled to meet her mother to celebrate her brother's birthday, but instead of a pleasant family gathering, she faced a serious conversation. Krista expressed her worries about her daughter's lifestyle but was unable to reach her. The dialogue escalated into a heated argument, after which Lauren turned, slammed the door, and left. This was the last time her family saw her alive. The following evening, Blake, a friend of Lauren's, called Krista. He had arranged to give Lauren a ride to a friend's house so they could prepare for Halloween together, but he could not find her. This alarmed him, prompting him to contact her mother. Blake recounted that he had met with Lauren the previous evening and had driven her to the nearest gas station. There, Lauren asked to be dropped off, explaining that she was meeting tattoo artist Mike West. They were collaborating on the design of a new tattoo that she planned to get that same day at his home. According to Blake, he had kept in touch with Lauren until the evening. She had shared details about the tattoo, but then suddenly stopped responding to messages and calls. This surprised Blake, as Lauren typically never let go of her phone. Upon receiving this information, Krista panicked and wrote to her ex-son-in-law Zach and Lauren's current boyfriend Connor. Zach confirmed that Lauren had not shown up to pick up their daughter, although she had intended to do so. This news further alarmed the relatives. The police quickly located Mike West, the tattoo artist mentioned by Blake. Mike confirmed that he had picked up Lauren from the gas station that evening and brought her to his home, where they were supposed to finish working on a tattoo sketch before proceeding with the inking. The man also reported that Connor unexpectedly joined them later. Lauren assured them that everything was fine and asked for permission to step out with him for a short while. However, after that, she never returned, even though Mike waited for her all evening. The next step for the detectives was to speak with Connor, who appeared to be the last person to see Lauren before her disappearance. The young man stated that on the day Lauren was getting her tattoo, he drove her in his car to the nearest Walmart, where she was supposed to meet a friend. After that, Connor claimed he went about his own business. According to him, Lauren promised to call as soon as she was free, but she never did. Investigators noticed some discrepancies in Connor's account regarding the exact timing of events that day. They decided to scrutinize his statements more closely to ascertain what had truly happened to Lauren near the supermarket. To this end, the police requested surveillance footage from Walmart. Meanwhile, detectives also spoke with the mother of the missing girl, Krista. The woman revealed that her daughter's relationship with Connor was quite toxic, and she had initially opposed their association altogether. In recent months, the couple had been arguing more frequently, and the tension between them had only escalated. Krista also informed them that at the time of Lauren's disappearance, she and Connor had already broken up and were not together that day when he allegedly drove her to the supermarket. Lauren did not wish to continue the relationship and was avoiding meetings and communication with her ex-boyfriend. While reviewing the surveillance footage from the Walmart parking lot, the police were unable to spot Connor's vehicle. There was a possibility that he had simply parked in a blind spot, but Lauren was also nowhere to be seen inside the store. Detectives spent countless hours meticulously reviewing the video recordings but found no trace of the girl. More than 48 hours had passed since Lauren's disappearance, a critical period after which the chances of finding a missing person alive rapidly diminished. Relatives were increasingly losing hope. Photographs of the girl were disseminated in the media, and the police urged the public to assist in the search for the young mother. Suddenly, an anonymous witness called the police department's hotline. He stated that on the evening Lauren went missing, he saw Connor arrive at his residence in his car. There were noticeable bloodstains on the seats and floor mats, which the young man attempted to conceal by throwing covers over them, but this did not completely mask them. Upon receiving this information, detectives began to consider Connor as the primary suspect in the case. It emerged that the young man had previously encountered legal troubles due to a minor domestic dispute during which he resisted arrest. Less than a year before the breakup with Lauren, a serious altercation had occurred between them, prompting Lauren to call the authorities. However, she ultimately decided not to press charges, and the conflict was swept under the rug. With a search warrant in hand, the police were able to thoroughly inspect the vehicle of the main suspect. Inside, they discovered numerous traces of blood that someone had painstakingly attempted to remove. At that point, there was no doubt that this blood belonged to the missing Lauren. It appeared that Lauren had lost a significant amount of blood, making it impossible to completely eradicate the stains. Experts who examined the crime scene concluded that the victim had sustained a severe injury and most likely died from massive blood loss. Investigators meticulously collected biological samples and sent them for analysis. The results of the laboratory tests later confirmed the worst fears. The blood found indeed belonged to the missing Lauren. When Connor was presented with this evidence, he once again altered his testimony. This time, the suspect claimed that he had picked Lauren up from the supermarket, but she was accompanied by another girl who allegedly wanted to buy drugs from a friend. Something went awry, and this individual suddenly pulled out a gun and shot Lauren in the head. Instead of fleeing the scene, the assailant supposedly directed the weapon at Connor and ordered him to transport the body to the nearest location where it could be disposed of. According to Connor, he drove a little further and, at the armed stranger's instruction, discarded Lauren's lifeless body in a dumpster. Throughout this, Connor insisted on his innocence and non-involvement. This version of events sounded just as implausible and convoluted as the previous ones. After a thorough investigation, it was revealed that the dumpster Connor referred to was designated for cardboard recycling. A day after the murder, the contents of the dumpster were transported to a paper mill, where it was set to undergo the recycling process. The police urgently dispatched 30 personnel to inspect 72 sorting facilities servicing 19 waste recycling enterprises across 16 states. The detectives familiarized themselves with all stages of the paper waste recycling process. It involved several technological operations during which the body could be shredded into minute fragments. Theoretically, there were several points where remains could still be found, but the likelihood of this was exceedingly low, as the recycling lines were highly automated and few people worked there. With each passing hour of fruitless searches, the police increasingly realized that Lauren's remains had most likely already undergone the entire recycling cycle. To facilitate this extraordinarily complex task, it was decided to deploy canine units with service dogs trained to detect corpses by the distinctive scent of decomposition. This approach yielded results. After some time, the dogs were able to locate what remained of the once beautiful young woman: fragments of skin, bones, and internal organs, ground by the recycling equipment. DNA analysis officially confirmed that the discovered remains belonged to the missing Lauren. The recycling company immediately recalled 30 tons of paper produced the day before to prevent any human body parts from entering the final product. In January 2020, the case finally reached the courtroom. Connor never admitted his guilt, despite the overwhelming evidence presented by the prosecution. He was confident that the jury would, at worst, find him guilty of involuntary manslaughter. However, the prosecution was just preparing to present the key evidence proving the intentional nature of the crime. The defense attorneys insisted that the fatal shot was fired accidentally. Yet, the prosecutors revealed the results of the analysis of the defendant's phone correspondence. It emerged that Connor's relationship with another girl preceded his breakup with Lauren. In messages to his lovers, he expressed extreme negativity towards his ex, referring to her as a parasite. He accused Lauren of allegedly ruining his life and not allowing him peace. In the same correspondence, Connor confessed that he was willing to do anything to rid himself of the bothersome ex-girlfriend, even murder. However, these claims contradicted the testimony of the victim's mother, who asserted that it was Connor who could not accept the breakup and stalked her daughter everywhere. After considering all the circumstances of the case, the jury found the defendant guilty of intentional murder. 23-year-old Connor Bronner was sentenced to life imprisonment. However, after 38 years and 3 months, he would be eligible to apply for parole. Following the announcement of the verdict, the victim's mother, Krista, stated that she would never forgive her daughter's killer. "We will never be able to come to terms with this loss. We have no one to bury. We don't even have a grave where we could go and remember Lauren," she told reporters after the trial. The loss of her daughter forever altered the lives of the Kidd family. Little Addison was left without a mother, and her grandparents were deprived of the opportunity to properly say goodbye to their daughter. Krista transformed Lauren's former room into a kind of memorial. She preserved the pink curtains, the piggy bank, stuffed animals, and the zebra-patterned bedspread. A special place is held by Lauren's beloved teddy bear, with which she had never parted in childhood. Now, this room has become a space where little Addison can feel a connection to her mother. Zach, Addison's father, continues to raise his daughter, striving to keep Lauren's memory alive. He tells the girl about her mother, shows her photographs and videos so that Addison knows what a wonderful person her mother was. The family holds annual memorial events in memory of Lauren, including the release of water lanterns adorned with her photographs and memories. The tragic story of Lauren Kidd serves as a poignant reminder of the dangers of toxic relationships and domestic violence. Her death prompted many women to re-evaluate their relationships and seek help when they find themselves in similar situations. Local organizations dedicated to protecting victims of domestic violence reported an increase in inquiries following the media coverage of this case. Halloween, once a cherished holiday for the family, is now forever intertwined with painful memories. Nevertheless, Lauren's loved ones strive to preserve the bright moments of her life, her smile, her love for music and sports, her devotion to family and her daughter. They believe that her story can help others avoid a similar fate. The tragic demise of Lauren Kidd left a profound mark on the life of Broken Arrow, a city previously regarded as one of the safest in Oklahoma. This case compelled many to reconsider their attitudes towards the issues of domestic violence and toxic relationships. Today, several years after the tragedy, Connor Bronner is serving his sentence at the North Fork Correctional Facility in Beckham County, Oklahoma. His first opportunity to apply for parole will not arise until 2056. Addison, Lauren's daughter, is growing up under the care of her father Zach and her grandparents, the Kids. The girl, as her relatives say, increasingly resembles her mother not only in appearance but also in character. The family is doing everything possible to keep Lauren's memory alive for her daughter. In honor of Lauren, a charitable foundation has been established to assist victims of domestic violence. The organization provides psychological support, legal advice, and temporary shelter for women in dangerous relationships. Each year, the foundation organizes a memorial run, with proceeds going to aid the affected. Krista Kidd has become an active advocate for the rights of domestic violence victims. She regularly speaks at schools and colleges, sharing her daughter's story as a cautionary tale for young people. Her efforts have helped advance several legislative initiatives aimed at strengthening protections for victims of violence. Every year on December 5th, Lauren's birthday, her family and friends gather to honor her memory. They release lanterns into the sky, sing her favorite songs, and share memories of the girl whose life was tragically cut short. The story of Lauren Kidd stands as a powerful reminder of the importance of recognizing the early signs of toxic relationships and seeking help in a timely manner. Her death was not in vain. It has saved the lives of many other women who found the strength to escape dangerous relationships after hearing her story.